I worked, I suppose, in the education sector for about 8 years, and I was very aware that there was an awful lot of really great work going on inside the classroom, outside the classroom. But there seemed to me to be a major social injustice also, that you had all sorts of schools across the country that weren't getting the same access to the sorts of opportunities and experiences that children who were from more affluent backgrounds were having just as part of the course. So originally the Transformation Trust was about trying to look at how do you start to level that playing field. So not really so much looking at what goes on in a formal learning environment, but what are those other things that you can add into the mix? So all the outward bound trips, access into different employers to think about work experience, all the sorts of things that create a more rounded young person in addition to all the qualifications that they will get too. We're a little bit unusual as an organisation in that all of the programmes that we run, we design completely from scratch each time. So we don't have a sort of set product list of this is our programme for employability, this is our programme for NEETs, this is our programme for early years in secondary school. So the way we work is that we will engage with a corporate partner that has the same vision as us in terms of addressing that social injustice. And we start from first principles. So who are they as an organisation? What do they do? What's their area of expertise and what's their skill set? And then we create a programme in partnership with them that is going to be able to bring to the fore all the expertise that they've got, but delivering a social good in those schools as well. So for instance, we work very closely with Barclays on their life skills programme, which is all about employability workshops. So things like CV writing, interview technique, communication skills and so on, which also involves Barclays volunteers. So we're a key partner in delivering that. And another example would be the work we've done with BT over the last 2 years. It's a programme called BT Digital Champions, and it's all about trying to address the digital divide. We look at the percentage of children who are eligible for free school meals, and the vast majority of the schools that we work with are in 20% plus bracket, all the way up to the 90s, and there are a lot in the 90s, but that brings together a network of schools which forms around 870 to 900 schools. So those schools are all eligible for the programmes that we run, and everything we run is completely free of charge. So a win-win success for us is all about this concept of a commercial social return. So we've completely hijacked the notion of traditional CSR and given it a rebrand, but looking at how actually from a corporate point of view, from a charity point of view, our bit, but also from a school's point of view, everybody gets something that's very positive from this. From the corporate point of view, it is all about the synergy and the fit with their culture, their ethos and what they do. But it's delivering something that is really, really measurable. So something that actually is going to speak to business minds, decision-making skills, and not just necessarily leave a warm, fluffy feeling in your stomach. So it's a hard-edged good for that company to be demonstrating that they are involved in a program like that and that it's delivering real impact on the ground. From the charity point of view, so our bit, in terms of being able to work with some great companies right across the country. So overall, we're now working with about 870 state secondary schools, all in the toughest parts of the country. The fact that we work with brands that are so instantly recognisable means that actually those schools really, really want to work with us as well. And then on the school's point of view, it's about what skills the young people are being able to develop through being involved in the programmes that we've talked about. Well, Step Up to Serve is an absolutely fantastic programme, and it's something that we are hugely, hugely supportive of. Some of the things that we're doing mirror some of the outcomes that that's seeking to achieve. So, for instance, the programme that we run with BT really sits at the heart of social action drive. Young people volunteer an hour of their time, they're helping somebody in their local community get online. So they're using the skills that they already have. They seem to be sort of hardwired into their own DNA. And they're then in the position of being the teacher for once, so not the recipient of learner. And that completely changes the whole chemistry of how young people engage with others. And they have to think quite hard as well about how am I explaining this to somebody? How do I know they've actually learned it? How do I know that actually they're going to go away from this hour and be able to use the things that I've taught them? So they're thinking about learning itself in a very, very different way, but they themselves are delivering a social good. So it completely changes how they view themselves and their role in their whole local community and their schools more generally.